Hi, welcome back to the table. This is Amy with Notes from Past Amy. This is the idea for the video today, but this one is from March. It is June, mid-June right now. Not sure when this will go up. It might be July. I will be out of town some in July, so this might be a scheduled video for when I'm out of town. But regardless, it is currently mid-June. I have almost twice the amount of ink bottles that I did when I made this spread. So, looking at it in bottles, this is where we're at now. The first pages showed to, I think, here. And then I put in a big order from the pen company, and I got all of these. And then I got some Ferris Wheel Press inks off of Reddit, these two. And then I got the Atlas Stationers subscription box, the first one, for my birthday, and I got those 4 inks, and so it needs updated. I did the rainbow, and I had enough different colors to make a pretty decent rainbow, but I really like that first layout I showed you, so I have set up a new page, the piece of blotter paper behind here. Here we go. This holds 60 inks. You can get those right to the edge here. I did this little frame, shadow, whatever we call this, just to be kind of cute because it looked a little bit weird, but I wanted them to be all the same size. I already loosened all the lids for the bottles that aren't shimmer, and I wrote down all the numbers. We're going to go left to right, like reading music or reading a book or any kind of reading we do here in America, left to right, top to bottom. And I'm going to use the back of the brush this time. I always like to use a different kind of swatching, unless I'm making my gallery, then that's all the same kind of swatch. Or I always use a pen if I'm doing my sample cards, that kind of thing. But in general, each kind of experiment is a different kind of swatching. So I'm going to use the back of the brush today, and I have a lot to do. So let's get started. I don't want the video to cut me off. Rose Pink by Monteverde or Monteverde USA. What is the difference? Does anyone know what the difference is? That has a lot of rings. I thought I loosened it more than that. I don't know what the difference is, but I recently noticed that it's on all of my inks, even though I was calling these big bottles Monteverde. And only some of the colors are available in a big bottle. Others are only available in the small bottle. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, these are just going to be little snapshots. And then I have a spice rack set up behind me so that I can just turn and put them in there and hopefully be a lot more time efficient. I think I recorded I'm pretty sure, positive, I recorded my March version of this, but I don't remember. Look how red that looks. If I put it up for everyone to watch or if I just left it for myself. I do remember that it was longer than I thought it was going to be. Such is the story of my videos, I think. I just get to talking to people and go, oh, I think they're interested in this. I'm just going to keep talking. Yep. Well, hopefully it's not too annoying. Wow, that one goes down thick. Hence the blotter paper behind, because, wow. That looks really dark. And I know it's marked with purple, but before when I swatched it, it came out more as a pinky reddish kind of color. So, Handle. Oh, I forgot to say the names. I got talking. Monteverde Rose Pink, Diamine Carnation, and then we've got the Diamine Handle. Lots of it. Oh, it didn't come through. Okay. Cool. I was sure it would. These were hard to know what order to put them in. This is a shimmer. This is my first pink shimmer. For a long time, it was my only pink shimmer. That's why the number is so low. But it's such a prissy ink. Sometimes call it my princess ink. There's so much shimmer in it that it just requires a special pen. If I had what they call a fire hose pen, that's probably where I'd be using it. The Robert Oster Rose Gold Antiqua. Amaranth by Diamine. These numbers mean nothing, so I'm not going to mention them. See? Look at all that ink. Why did it do that? These are interesting, though, to go back and look at. I know I dipped it and nothing's coming off. Come on. And you can see the inks that just, I don't know what to do to make that come out. There we go. That flow really well, the ones that seem thicker, all of those different kinds of things. The ones that really stick to the brush. Yeah, the ones that absorb really quickly. It's very interesting to go back and see how each of the inks acts. My brush. When you're doing this. At least I find it interesting. It's fine if you don't. You don't even have to watch. This is Lamy Crystal Burl. Quite nice, actually. The more I see it, kind of use it, the more it grows on me. I did not buy this ink to use by itself. I bought it so that I could mix it with Diamine's Blue Velvet and make Faux Dark Lilac, which I love. But this would probably look really good in my celebration. The new celebration from Colt Pens. It was an exclusive for their 17th birthday last year, 2022. Oh wow, look how similar that is. That's deep magenta, Diamine's deep magenta. I had not realized those were so close. This one came like that, a little bit spilled. Interesting. Now what's the purpose of doing something like this? Well, I think it looks pretty for one thing, but it's a lot of work to get all these set up, put them in somewhat of a rainbow order. It's not chronological. What would that be? Rainbow order. We'll just call it rainbow order. Look how thick that one is, just like this one. And then get all the lids loosened, or open every single jar, write all the numbers down, make the table. Like, it's kind of a process, but I think it's worth it because then I see all these colors. I'm reminded of what I have. I see any holes where I think, oh man, I have one green that happened in my first one. I think I would like some more greens, especially since I was making a green at the time. So that I did have a medium green. Really like that medium green. Oh, that was Zira. And so I've gotten a couple of greens since then. One I had planned on getting was the Roar and Klinger Alt Gold Coin. But I recently received from the Atlas subscriptioners Hollywood subscription box a green that I really like. It's a medium green. The name makes you think it's going to be a really, really dark green, but it's not. And I think it is lovely. See, this is why Sarah and I have such a hard time. Because it's like a pinky red, but look how much pinkier these are. I can't use this one by itself. It's just too bright. It would annoy me to no end. These are the ones I consider pinks. These would have to be magentas. These are just kind of like burgundies, and then these are more red. Red Dragon is my true red here on the end. Look how wet those are. That's how I identify my wet inks. Let's move to orange. Hopefully I finished that last thought because I really seriously don't remember. When I tested this, I was having trouble getting enough ink on the back of this brush to do a little tiny, what should I say, like a little cohesive area of ink without it running out. So kind of interesting to see these really wet areas. Autumn Oak, oh, this is a favorite. I love these 30 ml bottles too. They're so affordable. It's a great amount of ink. This is my pick for orange right here. If you saw my rainbow, you already know that. This has been a favorite pretty much since the beginning. This is one of the inks, like my first inks, number 2, that I got in November. So that one's been with me a while. I know I should be a little gentler, but these usually mix in pretty quickly. Oh, not quite. All right. Our second shimmer, Golden Sands by Diamine. See how much drier that seems? We just had some really, really wet ones. I've had no trouble with this in a pen, but the way I'm swatching it, it does seem a little drier. So very interesting. Yeah, these are wet, 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 wet. I wonder if it has something to do with the color. I don't know. Just an observation. This is a newer one, Queen and Castle. I can't decide if I actually like this one or not. It's kind of gold and it's kind of green. That's why we're putting it here, bridging the yellow and the green. Although when I was at soccer camp with my son last week, there were a couple of girls who were very interested in all the things I was doing, which was cross stitch and writing with my pens, just journaling and doing some Zentangle and such. And they were very anxious to try pens, and so I let them use one of my All-Stars. And what else did I have with me? Oh, I had a Yangshan 3003, and they happened to have these two colors. And so that's what the girls were using. I also had my SD with me, and I would not let the girls use that. It's like, no, I just got this pen. It's way too much money. The one girl was writing so hard that, this is Meadow, Diamond Meadow, that she just pressed it. You couldn't see the tip bend because it was the Yongsheng and it's very, very stiff. But she pressed it into the page, and as she pulled over to make her line, it actually ripped the paper. Yeah, that was a new experience for me because I write super gently and so does my son. What am I doing? That's the wrong side. I'm just talking now. Okay, good enough for now. So seeing somebody write that with that much force, that much pressure, I cannot talk today. I'm still going to do this video though. Wow. The greens seem a lot drier than these reds. That's okay. Isn't that a gorgeous color? I love that one so much. So happy with that color. It's called Ebony Green. Seeing someone use that much pressure was, yeah, wow. Very new. Very, very new. Diamond Holly is next. The other girl, she wrote a little bit gentler. She's been working on sketching. She's going into 2nd grade. She's been all into sketching lately. And the Queen and Castle was in the pen she was using, the All-Star. And she was getting kind of annoyed at the pen because she was trying to use it sideways. It was a 1.1 stub. It was getting low on ink. It had a shimmer in it. And of course, she knows nothing about agitating the pen so that the shimmer comes out. And she felt fancy using this shiny pink pen, so she wouldn't give it up, but she just called this color gold and kept trying to use it sideways. They wouldn't listen to me about using it so that, you know, it made sense and it wasn't upside down or on the side or with 1,000 psi of pressure, but, you know, you can only speak so much logical reasoning to kids who just got out of kindergarten and 1st grade. So there we go. This one's beautiful in swatches, and I still have to make friends with it in a pen. Aurora Borealis. This one I've never gotten along with very well. It looks too much like black, I think. Twilight. See, I think it's just too black. That is a very interpretive swatch. See, Aurora Borealis is so pretty in swatches. Why can't I make it look like that in a pen? Probably because I like fine nibs. So this looks like that in a pen. In a fine nib pen. This is lovely. I'm using this currently in a Laban 325 body with a hand-engraved Hooligan, Georgia custom. Well, I don't know if you can call it custom. But it's a hand-engraved nib, and it is my Laban 325 body because I needed something that took a Yovo housing, and that was available. So the color of trims, hardware stuff doesn't match. Some of it's silver and some of it's gold now, but it's a really lovely writing experience and super duper pretty. These are very similar. This is a touch greener. For some reason we get along so much better. Yeah, I don't know why. These should have been beside each other. Oh well. When this is done, they're close enough to each other to be helpful. This is Peacock Flare. This is a Diamine Shimmertastic. Yes, Peacock Flare. I learned, I think on a Goulet video, the silver caps are silver shimmer and the gold cap of my Golden Sands is gold shimmer. That's why they're different. That was good to know because I had wondered that. See, so pretty. It's basically one of these with silver shimmer. Another Diamine ink. I do have a lot of Diamine inks. This one's really lovely. Why do I not use this one? I don't know. I did a lot of research before ordering the 20 inks that took me from 30 inks to 50. This Udinil was my choice over Marine from all the online pictures that I saw in YouTube videos. So I guess digital images. Yeah, really lovely. I need to use that one more. Those really are close, aren't they? Wow. Here's another one of the new inks from the subscription box. A nice dark blue, hint of teal. As it dries, it's basically just dark blue. Well, isn't that exciting? It does have a hint of teal in the writing, though, because I just did some writing with it yesterday. Which I really like, that it doesn't seem quite so boring when you write with it. Moving to the turquoises. Whoa! Hold on. Just threw my brush at myself. This is, I forgot to look up how to say it. Havasu. Turquoise. Basically a nice cyan. Cyan and turquoise are interchangeable names, right? I think. What's the difference? If there's a difference, what's the difference? This is my son's favorite color. Well, cyan is my son's favorite color. No, this isn't Havasu turquoise. Oh, Aqua Lagoon. Never mind. Aqua Lagoon. Havasu turquoise is coming up then. Aqua Lagoon. Then we've got another shimmer from the Shimmertastic line. I have 5 or 6 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, maybe I have 6 silver shimmered and I have the gold. Is that right? Yeah. Ooh, that's more than I thought I had. Come on, mix in. These are so well behaved when they're not on video. There we go. These must look enough alike to put them together. To decide on this arrangement, I used the page with all the different ink bottles that shows like what the bottle looks like on the shelf. Yeah, those are very similar. Now I'm curious about the Havasu turquoise. Very, very curious. First is Arctic blue, so we're going to have 2 shimmers in a row. Look at that blue. Whew! No, I'll leave it there. And I'm reaching through this video a lot, but I wanted to get them in the right order. I didn't want anything to get broken or spilled or anything like that, so it's just going to have to be how it is. Oh, much more of a true blue. Ooh, I like that a lot. That reminds me of Zebra, except Zebra dried very boring, so that's kind of disappointing. This one is staying more of the cyan. That looks more aqua now that it's dried, and that's more of the cyan that my son loves. Do inks that dry a different color throw you off as much as they do me? There's one purple I have, and it writes so red when you first put it down, and then it dries to a very blue purple. That gets me every time. This is the Blue Velvet from Diamine. I can show you the end of the bottle, but it didn't come with a sticker on it. So it's just going to be lovely glass with my number. I'll show it to you though. This is from the 150th collection series. See? This is blue velvet. That's why it has the little wedge because of the series it's from, but it's a diamine ink. It's a little more expensive and you get a little less ink. So that's always fun, but still a great value. I put little Herbie next. This is Herbert. I think maybe it's a Diamine exclusive. Not Diamine. Colt Pens exclusive. It is by Diamine. It's a dark blue and it's got sheen. It has to have sheen. It doesn't look like it has sheen. I'm almost positive it has sheen. It's one of my drier inks, although you couldn't tell that. Here, maybe it was just the pen I was using. Maybe I should give that one another chance. Interesting the things you discover when you do these videos. Here is a Colt Pens exclusive. This is a Robert Oster ink. And I feel like the top was prettier than the ink on this one, which was disappointing. It's like a denim blue. And here it's just a very gray, dark, dark gray blue. But Robert Oster Colt Blue, exclusive to Colt Pens. Okay, those are very similar, wow. This one, don't believe the top, Amang. The pinky purple color? No. No, it is not. It is, if you look really hard, you can see a little bit of purple in it, but it is basically a, did I not put down far enough? Basically a dark blue. There we go. Yep. So these three are going to be very similar probably. But it's looking a little more denim. Definitely has some gray in it this time. Okay. Woohoo, we are moving back. What are we, like half done? Yes, half done. I did that looking at the ink bottles, and then when I glanced at the page, it was much more obvious. Here's my first blue. For a while, my only blue. Oops, slower than I thought. This is Waterman Serenity Blue. I don't know why I thought I needed a blue ink. I guess I didn't realize there were so many lovely colors. It didn't take long though, because number 2 is right there. And it's a beautiful orange that has not stayed in its square very well at all. Just part of it. It's okay. I like having this overview of my colors. Now some of them, when I say, oh, well, you have, a decent amount of pinks. Don't you want a dusty pink? No. Okay, well, a different kind of magenta. More like a fuchsia. I think fuchsia is the name for magenta, but it's the flower. So fuchsia is the flower and then magenta is the color, I think. I did look into that at one point. I think that's what I found. Okay, 2 burgundies, that's decent. What about another red? Nope. Perfectly happy having one red, haven't even used it. Well, I guess I have, but it's in a pen, it's in a red pen, so that when I want red, I can use red. I think I've inked it like once, so it's fine. That red will last me a long time. I am not looking for any other reds. Then I have this kind of burnt orange and more of a true orange. Happy with those. Don't feel the need to explore any more oranges. Perfectly happy. 1 yellow. Yeah, I might get a second yellow, like a standard yellow. When I order from Colt Pens again, I'm thinking of getting the Helianthus. Ooh, this is nice. What is this? Why have I not used this? Blue Lightning. Yeah, I have not used this. That is really pretty. Fingerprints and all. Man, that is gorgeous. Okay, need to use that. What was I saying? I just interrupted myself. Oh dear. Oh yes, the Helianthus. I might, but I don't use this one a ton. It's nice to have yellow, add some yellow accents, but a little yellow goes a long way. So I don't necessarily feel the need to have a variety of yellows. Green, I'm happy having light, medium, dark. This one, if you put it in fine, it almost looks like black. This one I need to test more. I just got it a couple of days ago. I think I will really like that one. Meadow's almost too bright. Same with this one. And Carnation. those right here are verging on too bright for me. My eyes are very, very sensitive. I've heard it's a blue eye thing. I'm not really sure how true that is, but I definitely have light sensitive eyes. Very, very light sensitive eyes. Sub-Zero, this is a favorite. I love this ink. Yes, Daniel. Did you need something?
Yes, dear.
Here's the Havasu turquoise. Let's see how much the same or how different. They happen to fall right on top or underneath each other, so that's going to be really nice for comparison. Thought about doing it like vertically and standing the page up, but I'm not a vertical person. I've tried and tried and tried. I'm just not a vertical person. I am a horizontal layout person. Just a second, bud.
I'm doing something.
Oh, this is much darker. No wonder I put it down here.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Okay, so I was thinking of this one earlier.
That's pretty.
Those are definitely aquas. These are more blue. These will look better once they dry. This one is a really standard blue, isn't it? I love this. I don't know that I've used this one. It reminds me of a sample we had like November, December, one of our very first inks. It was it's a very, very long name. Let's see here. Diatramentis, cyan, pearlescent cyan, something like that. Copper. Those words in some order. We used that up quite quickly. And now that I think about it, I got a couple of these colors because they reminded me of that ink, and it was just as cheap to buy all of that ink as it would have been to order the one that we knew was the same. They don't have copper shimmer, they have silver shimmer, but I don't think we care. This one really reminds me of it. Maybe that one too. I don't know. We'll see better when it dries. All right, now we're going to transition into purples. My son needs something. I'll be right back. All right, let's shake this up. Isn't that pretty? This is the Platinum Jubilee ink from Cult Pens and Diamine. I just hit it against my fingers as I rotate it with the other hand. Ta-da! It's a purpley blue. I actually used that ink on the top here. I don't do that anymore, but I was doing that at the time. And it's a really lovely light color. This was the first ink I used in my Celebration, the new Celebration, which is a Euphoria size pen. That fine nib, oh, is so beautiful. It handles shimmer very, very well. Love it. So beautiful. So that's a very blue purple. That's why I put it there. Because now we're going to go into the blue purples that are more purple. Again, slightly different setup since this is a round bottle. Oh, it's all in there. So we should continue. This is Lilac Satin, also part of the Shimmertastic line. Silver cap means silver shimmer. I don't know if it's that way on the Inkvet inks. I only have silver caps from those. I do have several of those inks. I like this one a lot. I don't remember it being this dark when I used it in a pen. I remember it being a lot lighter. This one has a gold shimmer. The 1670 line of Jacques Robin is gold shimmered. I think it said gold, or did it say bronze? I think the paperwork said it was gold shimmered. This one is harder to rotate because it is square. Doesn't really fit my hand very well. But the bottle's gorgeous. Actually, I have two of these bottles now. One I purchased empty, and this one which came in the Atlas subscriptioner box. I don't know why I want to call us Atlas subscriptioners now instead of Atlas stationers. Good enough. I love having two of these bottles. The empty one, sometimes I put a plant start in it. Sometimes I'll put Q-tips in it. Sometimes I will just put it out so that I can see it. It's so lovely. Yes, when I first swatched this ink, I said it reminded me of Lilac Satin. So I wanted to make sure they got on the page together. I know they have different color shimmer, but I think they're going to be very, very similar. This isn't foolproof. I'm not putting exactly the same amount of ink on each one, but it's still a really nice reference. Okay, we're back to Diamine. That looks like about the same color too, but this is not a shimmer. This is violet. Nice standard ink that you can get in a 30 ml or 80 ml bottle. Here's Bilberry. We're going to go darker now. This is basically black. I used this in a 1 point something stub, and it was basically black. And I don't know if I've used it since because I don't use black ink if I don't have to. So look how dark that is. I used it in that size. Nope, wrong one. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of 1031. What is 1031? Oh, Scribble Purple. So I'm thinking of this one right here. Very gentle because that lid is not on very well. See? This is the one I'm thinking of that looks almost black. Every time I do that, I remind myself of the... Okay, I'm playing Minecraft with my son too much, I think, because I remind myself of the villagers or traders, maybe both. They're so annoying. They walk around with their arms like they're in a muff, but they're not. They've just got like their arms folded together in front of them, and they make that annoying sound all the time. So now I can't ever just go, I'm like, Because inevitably my son will spawn a bunch of these annoying trader guys. And it's like this really, really irritating soundtrack in the background that covers up the actual music. You just are constantly annoyed by these traders. The sound of these traders. What was 42? I don't know. I don't think I told you. I can know quite easily. 42. Uh-oh. Where did I put 42? Oops. I can always look it up. 50 was Imperial Purple. These are very similar. We're going a little darker or a touch more red, but wow, they're similar. I guess I have a kind of blue purple that I really like. 42 was this one. This is Cassia from Roaring Klinger. Good size. That's 50 mils for $5 something. $5.50 or so. Really great value. Purple Bow. This is maybe the first ink vent style bottle I got. I think maybe. This is a very blue purple, very dark color. Just a standard ink with maybe $10 for 50 mils. So not bad at all, but twice the price of the Roaring Klinger. So you can pay whatever you want to pay for ink. There are price points all over the place. Here is Scribble Purple, and I placed it after Purple Bow, so let's see if it truly is darker. That was my thinking for this. I don't know if it really is. They look black when you put them down, don't they? They really, really do. But you can see it's more of a purple now as it dries. Okay, I told you that was Scribble Purple, 31. We're going to move on to next to last row here. This is also a Roaring Klinger ink. This is Scabioso, which is one of their Iron Gall inks. This will dry different than it goes down. It's pretty nice purple here as we put it down. It will be grayer as it dries. Yeah, see, that's basically black. Basically black. Very disappointed with that one. Love this one. It's almost black, but you can still see it as purple, which I love. I don't know why, but I do. 1061. Watch this one dry, it's really fun. This is Purple Dream. This is definitely on the red side of purple. I used this Scabiosa as a transition. Some of these ink colors are really easy to set up in the rainbow. And then other colors, like, where do I put this? This is a purple, but it's a red purple, or it's a gray purple, or it's a really dark red purple, or a really, it's, you know, it's more of a light, or a medium, or a whatever. Here's what the label looks like on that one. So some of them are a lot harder to place. This one should be on, it is. This is one of my first inks. I treated myself at Christmas time to inks 8 and 9 shimmers. The Detriments is, okay, so the pearlescent goes first. So the other was cyan copper, and this is brilliant violet copper. Look at this one. Very nice. That's Purple Dream. This Scabiosa is still drying. In a pen, it feels drier, but I said that about another one that didn't look dry at all when I was putting it on the page. This one takes forever to shake up, so let's see. What other kind of random information do you find interesting? Might you want to know? Can I bore you with? Oh, got it. Yay. Okay. Tremendous. I am very happy with the colors I have here. Not seeing holes that I want to fill. As I said, I'm very happy with the amount of oranges, yellows. I like having the 3 greens. I've been wanting light, medium, dark for a while, so really happy to have the 3 greens. Not really feeling a need for more. I love purples. If I can find a really great deal on a purple, I pretty much just go ahead and get it. That's why I have so many diamine purples. I recently got a sample of grape from an exchange or swap, however you want to call it, and it's really nice. I can't believe I didn't have that one. But sometimes on the website, if it looks just like another color that I already have, I won't pursue it. So that's probably what happened. 38 was Pansy, also from the Flower Collection. Same as Carnation was. Here's my other Waterman ink. This is 1046. Definitely a pink leaning purple. Waterman's also a great value. They run $7.58, I think. The price just went up because I got this one for $5 something in I think it was January, February. And then I was seeing a lot about Blue Mare, which is a Rohr and Klinger ink. This is called Tender Purple, as well as another Waterman ink, Inspired Blue, I think it's called. And so I was looking at that, and the price of Waterman ink had gone up a lot, like very significantly. Still a great deal, but really glad I picked up that Tender Purple when I did. Not that I need another purple, I just, you know, purple inks make me happy. I like having a multitude of purples. Here's 1049. Majestic Purple. These are very similar. Majestic. This is a touch bluer than 46 was, the Waterman. Then we have Amazing Amethyst, which doesn't usually look very amazing to me. I think maybe last time I did one of these calendars, it looked quite nice, and I've put it in a pen since then. Really not that amazing. It's like gray purple. Let's see what happens here. That one's wet. This one's still drying. It feels dry in a pen though. That's the Scabiosa, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. That one's Scribble Purple. Maybe I should try to draw up with this retired sock. There we go. Nope. We're getting a good amount of ink on the page though. Look at that. Wow. This is definitely a pinkier purple. Very, very much so. I have 2 that are very, very pinky purple. This is one of them. The other is not a shimmer. It's like there's a little bit stuck right there. Got it. Frosted Orchid. Whoops. Forgot the brush. See, that's just, it's okay, I guess. I know a lot of you really love it, but we are not the best of friends. I could say the same about Cera, though, still. I've tried, but my favorite way to use Cera is to make other colors with it. It's okay. My other very pinky purple. That will look better when it dries. Is this just the paper, or is it all shimmer inks that just look weird when they're wet? Look how weird that looks. It's all grainy looking and so strange. Okay, 1044 is a troublemaker ink. I got a couple of them from Colt Pens, and this is one of my favorite purples. For some reason, I see it as a blue purple, but it has a lot of pink in it, so I went ahead and put it with the pink purples, and now I'm like, I should have gone ahead and put it like here with the more true purples. Not super pink, not super blue. I don't know. I love it. I just never know exactly where to put it. But that's Troublemaker Foxglove, as I said. And then Damson is 1030. We're moving into the grays. So, got like pinkly, what is pinkly? Pinkly purple grays and just purple grays. I find I don't really use the gray toned inks a whole lot. So I'm definitely good with the amount of grays I got, including this very grayed purple, not purple, blue. This in here, this super dark. This is permanent though, so that's nice. And then I've got like 4 here that are just very grayed. I know Earl Grey is supposed to be gray, but you know, that's coming up. You haven't actually seen that one yet. 1060, this is another one of those annoying shaped wedges. I guess they could be fun if you have a whole pie, but for storing on my spice shelf, they are just annoying. This intends to be very gray as well. This is Lilac Night. Not to be confused with Lilac Satin. Lilac Night. This is what the labels are supposed to look like. There we go, I don't have any more room on that spice rack behind me. Okay, Vivaldi from the Music Collection. Another very gray purple. That one's quite nice. That came out way better than I thought it would. I haven't been very impressed with Damson or Vivaldi, even though they looked lovely on YouTube. Earl Grey. For gray, it's nice. It's just gray. So when I want regular gray, use Earl Grey. And then when I want shimmer gray, well, that's next. These were way far apart in their discovery. This one was back in November. And the next one came with the Atlas box a couple of days ago. So, months and months apart. See, it's just kind of black, but it is gray. It looks actually better in a pen. It's kind of funny how it works, isn't it? Some things look better in a pen than they do in a swatch. Oh, I love this layout. So, so nice. I should have put this one first. It's more of a coral, but oh well. Oops. This is April Showers, Ferris Wheel Press. Everyone knows that bottle. Don't know if I got any on here or if it's just bubbles. Oh, that's it. It is a lighter gray and it is shimmered. Oh, come on. That looks weird. There, much better. So really nice grays. I'm perfectly happy with 2 grays that are true grays, and then some other gray toned things. I don't feel that my purples are in excess. I love having that many purples. If there's a color you really like, You're not going into debt over having 20 bottles of the same color, then why does it hurt? Especially if a lot of them are small bottles. Okay, moving from gray to brown. I didn't know where else to put the brown, and this is how I did it in March. It looked really nice, so I just left it. Here's another one of my first colors. Macassar, I forgot to look up how to say this, but it's brown. Nice brown, slightly warm, which I prefer over the really stone gray or cold browns. They look like dead trees to me. I'm really not a fan of those. I don't know what color shimmer this has in it. What does that look like to you? This is Land of Shangri-La, also Ferris Wheel Press. We'll say their lids are easy to get off. I love the shape of lid. This is also a recent ink. It's up in the 70s. This is also a very dark ink. See? Very dark, but really nice as a brown. Isn't that interesting, the red? Yeah, I think so. The things found people find interesting. There we go. So that is my current collection in rainbow order. Left to right, top to bottom. So if you missed a name, you're gonna have to go back. Unless I suddenly decide to be really nice and put all the numbers with their colors. It's in Fountain Pen Companion, but I don't think it's public for public viewing. I think it's a private note. Because I don't really think everyone cares what kind of number I have assigned to each of my inks. And these are just the bottles, so all the missing numbers were samples. We had just a tiny bit of bleed through. The back is actually kind of cool. I might leave that and not put anything over it. We'll see. It's kind of fun. Lovely. I thought about adding Night Sky and Carbon Black here because I technically do have those. Night Sky is my son's. Carbon Black is the first ink I bought, but I didn't buy it for fountain pens. I bought it to refill brush pens. So don't really count it with my collection, but technically it is number 1000. And it was the first ink that I got. So we'll see if I decide to do that. Maybe you'll see it later. For now, I'm just going to it. Maybe put a couple of little clips to help it not crinkle too much, but that's it. That's my collection. What color shimmer is that? I don't know. This is definitely copper. That almost looks like silver. Look it up or be the judge. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I love this resource. So whether anyone watches it or not, I'm happy to have it. But if you did watch, thanks for watching. I will see you again soon.